Okay everybody, so welcome back. This is the ASC Craft Supplies Design Team project, the 6x8 by 3-inch spine using the Ciao Wizard Academy paper, again from ASC Supplies on Etsy, asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. So I did go ahead and fussy cut some of the images out, not all of them, there was lots to choose from, so I kept some of the ones that I thought would be good for tags or pockets, or if they had like a double-sided image, I just went ahead and cut those out. So I'll link the first part of the video below where we made the actual book, and now we're going to get started. So this was one of my favorite images, and I cut it down top and bottom. It's still a little bit too big to fit on a regular page, so I want to fit it on the outside page here. And I think in order to do that, this is left over from the pages. It's perfect if I was going to mat it, but I need it to be bigger because we're going to use it as a fold, as a flap. So in this case, we're going to measure our paper. And the way I cut it, it measures 7 5/8 by 4 3/8. Not ideal, but it just means that we want to cut it at 4.5. And that's going to be, or I'm sorry, no, 7 5/8 plus, give us a little bit, we'll go 7 7/8. That's going to be the height. I'm going to check that real quick. Yep, it works good. And then we're just going to go ahead and mark it. Should be, we'll do it at 5, so 7 7/8 by 5, and that's the perfect size for this guy to be a flap. And I think I've decided, and as a labor of love, but I think I've decided to ink the edges. So for now, I'll use walnut stain. I think I have the big one downstairs, but we'll get that for now. I just think this one needs it. Oop. I don't have all my stuff up here. Here, this guy. This guy will work. I'm still in the process of moving stuff. And right now I can't move anything big because I have a Murphy bed that is not put together in here. I think inking the edges is going to make a huge difference. I don't have a plan, so just so you know, this is not pre-planned. We're just winging it. Okay, and I think we'll have it open from... We'll have it open from this side out. So tape this on. I'm going to put it up against this. I have a little bit more to trim off. I have a little bit too much for me up here, so I'm going to trim a little bit of that black off. And then we're going to score it here. And I scored it. Oh, it just didn't. Well, I guess you'll have that sometimes. Okay, here we go. That's better. And this one, I'm going to glue. Again, I'm using my Ultra Bond adhesive. Get it at ASC Supplies on Etsy. And the little tips and the needle things, that you can get those too, separate. Because sometimes they just clog up. Okay, I'm going to center that on my page. And I really like that flap. This was coming up, so I'm going to glue it down extra. While we're here. And the only reason it's coming up is because I used that different kind of paper. If I would have used the 65-pound recollection paper, it would have been fine. This is what I totally recommend for this. Okay. So we added a flap. Do you want to add, well, regardless, we're going to mat this. So we need to figure out what papers we're going to put there behind the dragon image. I'm going to pull out the 8x8 and see. Snakes, herbology, library. How about something simple like that? Oh, I like this one. What's on the back of it? Okay, I'll sacrifice that. No problem. If you want all the patterns and the cut aparts, you may have to buy 2 of the A9 size. So this does have kind of writing on it. And to mat this is going to be, and I want to go from here where I folded this one. So that's 6 inches by 8, and then you take an 1/8 inch off of each. So I'm going to do 7 7/8 by 5 7/8. These are just a little bit different size because we and make sure that's the right direction. Okay, that's the right direction. It's a little bit different size because it's the front cover, not the pages. So once we get into the pages, it'll be a little easier. They're always going to be, well, not always, but for the most part, they'll be the same vertical dimension. And then again, when you get into your other pages, you can also do all the folds and flaps and stuff, put your pattern paper on afterwards, which is typically what I do. Okay, that fits perfect. Do a little dry run there. Line it up with, I'm gonna line it up out here with about an 1/8 inch all the way around, and just make sure it doesn't go over your fold there. Okay, I do love this image, and there's no competing image on this side, so this is going to be a big book. I bet we use up a lot of paper. And on the back side, I think we're going to pull that green in by using that. And this one's a funky shape or funky dimension because we had that dragon cut out on the other side. 4.5 by 7 3/4. So 7 3/4 minus an 1/8. 4.5 minus an 1/8. And if you're not familiar, I kind of typically color code or make my pages all the same color. When you open up one page, it'll all be like a green tint. Okay, here we go. So just a little knot around the edges there. And then I think we can do a waterfall on that first page. I line it up with the outside, leaving about a 1/16 or so. And there we go, there's our first page. I'm thinking waterfall here. This is the first page. That's your cover. You haven't even gotten to your first page. But I'm feeling like we're going to have plenty of room. Waterfall, waterfall. We could do more than one waterfall. I have all these leftovers from when we cut the pages. I still have a leftover page too. Remember, we cut too many. But I think this will be... Do I want to use that for the waterfall? Do we want the waterfall sticking out of the side here? Or what I can do is I can make a flap go over. Let's come back to that. I'm not sure that I want a waterfall there. I do want a pocket here. So I'm going to use one of these. So this is 3 3/4, and this is the piece of paper from the covers or from the pages. So I'm going to cut this. This is 4.5. I'm going to cut it at 4 3/4. And then score it at a 1/2 inch on the 4 3/4 side on both sides. So this was 4 3/4, and I scored it at a 1/2 inch on both sides. I have lots of crafting to do. I was making cards this morning for a lady who is taking Valentine's Day cards to retirement home, which I think is really neat, and I have lots of cards that I can donate, but she wants these to be Valentine's cards, and I think the only Valentine's Day card I have is the one with the Grim Reaper on it, which is not appropriate. So I was going to, well, I started making the cards, and I have no Valentine's stamps. Go figure. But, so I have to go get Valentine's stamps. I want to see if maybe one of my cut-aparts fits here. If it doesn't fit, he's too big. He kind of fits. This is another one that I cut out that I really like. Remember, this would be great for a book journal. I need to grab my coffee stain paper, I think, if I'm going to go through with that. So let's look to see what paper I have here. I don't want another busy image because that one there. So we're gonna go kind of plain. I kind of like the snakes though. Let's do the snakes. And we'll do the snakes for the top and the bottom. So I just measured this 3 3/4. This is always going to be 7 1/2. I wrote it in the back. So we cut this an 1/8 inch smaller than 3 3/4. So that is 3 5/8 by 7 1/2. Minus an 8, 7 3/8. I should have left it long. So I could tuck it in. I am so out of practice, guys. Okay, well, we'll just do it for the bottom part here. That's 4 1/2. I'm going to cut it at 4 3/8. Don't forget the ink. Sorry about being rusty. I'm going to cut another strip of paper for the top there. Let's see, is he big enough? Yeah, he will work. So I just cut this a little short, and I'm going to add a strip. You just cut all the mats at 1/8 inch short. Then the place you want, except for these, you need them a little bit longer because you tuck them down in this pocket. Now the strip that I want, let's see. I have this strip here, which is off of that, which we can use that. So that is 3 3/4 minus an 1/8. And ink it. And then later on, when we get to be putting stuff in pockets, and I'll have some, hopefully, maybe have some cut-aparts left, we can decorate it a little bit more. going to butt that up against that pocket. Alright, there we go, and I have a spot there. Let's make a folding booklet. We'll take this piece that I have left over. It measures 7, and we want it by 7 by 7 because we're going to score at 3.5. So 7 by 7, score at 3.5. Doesn't matter which side because they're both the same. And then I think we're going to get a I think I'll get a corner punch before I mat this one. A little off. I promise that this will get smoother. Okay, so he fits right down in there. And yeah, we'll I think we'll get a corner punch before we start that one. So that is the front, the first small page. That is a page. And the front cover, minus, I think we'll do something here for journaling because I'm really thinking this is going to be a great book journal for somebody. Yeah, we'll do that. So I'm going to end this here. Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy or asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your total price purchase. And come see me for the next pages. We'll see you. Bye-bye.